let's go to the opposite, man. What team lost in free agency?
The Celtics.
Oh man, you asked, dude. That was gonna be my pick. I had no idea you were actually gonna say it. Let's go. A moment of honesty from Brandon Campbell.
Oh man, what are they doing? Dude. Like, there's nothing going on there. They brought in that trash player, Josh Richardson. He's oh my god! I hate every move they've made.
I mean, you like the Al Horford move.
Yeah, that one's not terrible, but that was before free agency.
Right.
Ever since, it's just been Josh Richardson, but I like Enes Kanter as a player. I don't like him for them.
Yeah,
there's a time.
They've already tried that.
Yeah, and so why are we going back to it? Yeah, I can't get behind anything they've done. I don't know what they're doing. I've listened to some pods today, and they were saying something about like, oh, they're waiting on Bradley Beal to make some move for that, but. Why? I don't even think Bill's like the right spot for them, especially if they're going to have to give up Brown for Bill. There's no way in hell I'd do that. I don't care if him and Tatum are best friends.
I just don't understand these teams that don't have a true point guard distributor. Like, what do they like? Don't they realize how much easier that makes? Especially like they have such great talent on there with Tatum and Brown. Like,
there's not enough point guards left, man.
Yeah, but I'm saying like. They've had years to figure this out. This is just 1 year of a microcosm of what the Celtics have been in my eyes for a long time. Like they could have gone out and went hard when they had all these assets to go after a guy like AD, to go after a guy like Kawhi. They stockpiled all of these things and they got nothing out of it, right? And so, to me, I agree with you. I think they're the biggest losers. I think they, by doing nothing, have dropped in their position in the East because I think Miami solidified themselves to be better than them.
Yep.
Nets, obviously, we already thought. Milwaukee, we already thought. And I think the Celtics are going to be, and
the East is going to be a lot tougher now too.
Yeah, absolutely. The Bulls, I think, are going to be better. Hopefully Rick Carlisle could do something with that talent in Indy because they have like a good squad on there. Yeah, they just need to figure out how to pull that out. Charlotte is on there, ascending with, you know what I mean? And so like the Knicks, Atlanta, so like the East is not like that. There's no, I mean, there's going to be those games that are like buys, like Cleveland and stuff like that. But in that top 8 to 10, there's like no gimmies, you know what I mean? So
it's going to be as cutthroat as the West normally is. You know what? Well, I mean, on paper,
West I think goes deeper, but definitely at like the top 8 is going to be pretty tough in the East.
You don't think you can go down? Well, I mean, I guess maybe not 10. All right. Well, so for a change, it'll finally be the way the playoffs are normally supposed to be. All 8 teams are going to be competitive.
Right.
Which is the way it's been in the West for the
It's going to be actually you have to have a winning record to make the playoffs.
Yeah. You're not getting in under 500. There's just no way. It's not going to happen.
So going back to the Celtics, like, how do you not see this? Like, what? Like, I didn't understand the whole moving the coach to the GM because, like, what makes it? This guy already couldn't do what he needed to do with the team that he had. Now you're going to put him in charge of personnel and talent. Like,
bringing in people. Yeah. And so far, it doesn't. I don't like the way it looks. You know what I was just thinking though, because you're talking about getting a good distributor for that team. Who I would really like for them now that you just got me thinking about it is Ricky Rubio, right?
Like, and he was available.
Now he's on the Cavs. He got traded for. Oh my God. I liked him. He used to play for the Hawks. No, sorry. Maybe it was the Nets. Oh, my God. I can't think of his name.
I'll look it up. But keep going why you think Rubio would be a good fit.
So Rubio to the Celtics would be perfect because he can move the ball. He's a true point guard, and he doesn't really need it, right? Like, he's not going to be like, oh, I need the ball. I need all these shots. And so that just frees up more shots for Tatum and Brown, but he can also get shots if he has to. Right, because he's good in transition. He can get to the bucket, and he'll come off screens. I mean, he won't always make that 3-point shot, but it's gotten steddily better. And he just put up
sneaky defender, sneaky steal. Like you get a lot of steals. The guy you were talking about is Taurean Prince.
Taurean Prince, that's right.
Yeah, and I mean, I just feel like obviously they got Marcus Smart there, but Marcus Smart is more of like just a two guard. He's like Patrick Beverly, a better version of Patrick Beverly because he's more consistent with his shot. But Yeah, I've been down on the Celtics for a while. You know that. And obviously there's the rivalry with the Lakers, but I just think that they could have been so much better if they made smarter moves. And I just think
if Kemba would have panned out, I don't think that they would have needed to make smarter moves. You're right though, like they had a bunch of assets and they never pulled the trigger on anything. They really jacked that up. But I really like the combination of Tatum and Brown because both of those guys are what every team wants, right? Young athletic wings that can score and defend. The only thing they can't do is move the ball. They're like a young version. Not that they're as good. I'm not saying that, but like what the Clippers should be with Kawhi and PG.
Right.
That's what the Celtics have right now with Tatum and Brown. Right.
And they're missing the same thing that the Clippers are missing.
A point guard.
Yeah, point guard. And so like, yeah, I agree with you. I think that should have been their main focus. They should have been going hard at a guy like Lowry. They should have been going hard at a guy like Mike Conley Jr. Like they could have been going hard at Chris Paul. You know what I mean? Like, so
that, yeah.
So, I mean,
I don't think Chris Paul will ever go east though.
Yeah, probably not. And I mean, maybe they were trying, but my guess is they probably weren't because
I don't think
I've never seen them do like a smart move a day in my life. So,
hey, they got a point guard. His name was Kyrie Irving at one point in time.
That's true.
He did not work out at all.
But once again, same with Kemba. They got score first point guards. I'm talking about a distributor first. They already got scoring. Like you don't need scoring. You need distributors.
We're going to need to do this on one of our basketball shows here that you have. Go through the list of like who are true distributing point guards now. I know we kind of did it the last time Esteban was here, but we really need to do it.
Yeah, we'll do some research and put it together.
With the current league guys.
Yeah.
No, that'd be fun.
Another team that I think lost is Utah. And once again, by staying pat, like you've already been embarrassed 2 playoffs in a row.
Yeah.
You know, being the number 1 seed and then, you know, not performing like a number 1 seed. And what did you do to help out Donovan Mitchell? You brought
what they did?
What they do?
They brought in another center that can't play in crunch time.
a center that couldn't even make the rotation in Sacramento.
No, yeah.
So I just think, you know, even with Mike Conley being there, even if he's healthy, obviously I think that helps. But they brought in no like more scoring. They didn't bring in like, I don't know. They're just running it back with the same squad pretty much. And you just saw what the Lakers did. You see what Golden State's bringing back. You see what the Suns are doing. You know, I just don't see like why they feel like they're in me. Denver is getting, you know, some guys back. They made some moves.
I didn't know Murray wasn't coming back until like even later in this year.
He might not. They're not even sure he's going to come back, you know? So like there's a chance he might not come back.
He was not that long.
So I think Utah being in the position that they were in, like not going all in for somebody that could be a game changer for them, I think was a big deal. And they just doubled down, right? They gave big money to everybody, so they're like locked into this team for a while. So they're my other losers out of the West.
So my other loser is Portland because they did worse than stand pat. Like they they didn't get anybody. They didn't do anything.
They just re-signed Powell basically. That's the only move.
Re-signed Powell. They
lost Carmelo.
They lost Carmelo. That was what it is. I was like, I know they lost somebody. They lost 2 guys. They lost Carmelo, who was their 3rd leading scorer, right? So it's like, now where do those points come from? And then they lost Zach Collins. I know he was not a big minutes guy, but he was always like the promise of, hey, Zach Collins is going to be healthy one time. He's going to come. He's going to be really good. Now he's gone too. It's like, what have they done?
And Cantor, who played big for them down the stretch as well.
Bro, I thought you said cancer, and I was like, wait, what do you?
No. He was Cantor. Cantor. Yeah.
So it's just like, what's going on there?
I think they're gearing up for. They're not trying to sign nobody because they know Dame's leaving. So they're like.
So don't sign anybody, but still at least try to make it look like this. Just says
I think they're blowing it up.
Dame and CJ are gone. Yeah,
I think so. I think they're blowing it up
them out
because they don't have like really a lot of money into anybody other than those guys. And I guess is Nurkic on a big deal? I don't know.
I mean, it's a bigger deal, but it should be almost up. I think it's only because he got his extension before Dame and CJ got theirs, only because his contract ended first.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think Dame is gone, man. Like, especially that they didn't make any moves. It's like, why would he stay? Like, the team that he had last season wasn't good enough to do anything, and they just got worse. Like, they lost players, they didn't gain anybody. So I mean, that I think they're just gearing up that Dame's going to be gone, and they'll probably blow that up and just rebuild.
Might as well. They haven't done anything else with that team, so